Up, guys? All right, so we'll start on. Actually, you know what? We'll start on GU because GU is going to take me 3 seconds. Trash, 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 trash. Just melted with the 4 p.m. news, the Frankfurt Open news. Yeah, I ain't trying to buy that. I'm not going to try and do anything with that other than ideally sell it one day in the near future. Hopefully, eventually, maybe someday. Who knows? Fuck knows. She's bearish. Not planning on going near it. We have obviously just taken this really nice demand area. Beautiful valid demand. Yeah, if it does something with it, cool. Give you a big thumbs up. I ain't joining in on that party. I will be leaving that one alone. Look at how bearish that is. I will be leaving it be if it wants to buy again. Great. Thumbs up. I ain't touching it. If it wants to push up a little bit though, I'm happy to work with that on EU. So if we look at the two, obviously GU with the news has swept. And is due for obviously a retracement to fill up that imbalance. However, like I said, I'm not going to try and trade it. However, I am happy to use that as a divergence with EU, respecting this demand area. Now, going over to EU, I wouldn't expect this demand to hold on its own. However, with GU inducing all that liquidity, I'm happy to have a bit of a look at it. However, I'm not overly keen on trying to buy. However, what we do have on EU, so obviously we've got a bunch of liquidity sitting up here. We've induced this area. We've induced this area. We have taken heaps of liquidity. We haven't had a bit of a bullish retracement in getting close to a week or in a few days now. So since Friday really was last time we had a little bit of a bullish push during Frankfurt. But it's been a minute. It's been a minute, almost a week since we've been obviously bullish. So, we've got a lot of liquidity sitting up here, a lot of liquidity sitting through here. We've obviously got some liquidity building across the top here now. We do have some liquidity underneath, and we are bearish though, internally and externally, obviously here and here. So we've got to bear that in mind. However, we've taken heaps of liquidity and GU swept a shit ton just now, so I'm open to buying it. In terms of what we've got, shit range though. Straight leg and then straight retracement complex pullback. The liquidity generated inside of this range has been generated since the mitigation of the demand, which I really, really don't like. However, looking at what we've got, if I drop down to the 5 minute, we have 5 minute break, supply, demand area, which induced liquidity, also induced this low. That's then led to the break of this high. We've had a retracement, internal inducement into the mitigation of this demand area. We've then had break, we've had retest. We've now induced the retest, broken again, taken Asia high, mitigated our demand to supply area, had a sell-off, induced a valid demand, being this demand area, which happens to be the 50% of Asia. So this is my medium inducement. So I've just had a medium inducement to the downside, respecting the range at the same time of GU inducing 3,000 fucking pieces of liquidity and just about major inducing. So I'm happy to look for buys. You could look at this area here, like that tiny little point as a medium inducement, but I don't really consider it. So what I'm looking for, and hopefully it doesn't play out pre-session, that'd be so annoying. I'm happy to use this point as a smart money point. I'm also open to buying where it is. It's just we don't have a lot to work with. I've looked at the 1 minute. Yeah, there's nothing there in the 1 minute. There's nothing at all. There's your 1 minute break. There's nothing really there. This isn't going to set up on the 1 minute. So yeah, flying. May just push through, but I'm open to using that as a smart money trap. If we drive through here and we take this, that is also going to be a medium inducement. And we are going to be taking that out of an area that I don't believe makes a lot of sense to hold from a momentum perspective and from a liquidity perspective of what we've got here and here. And also how we've reacted since mitigating this demand. This is just what I would expect to see usually from a smart money reaction. Yes, we have nice inducements low and breaks to the upside. But yeah, we'll see what it wants to do. But nonetheless, I'm happy to sell when we take this high. Yeah, the only issue with that is obviously what GU wants to do. But if GU can show that it's going to continue bearish when we come up and take this, potentially if like GU was to come up, and retest that break at the same time of EU sweeping this, we can then work with that as like a divergence to be able to get something. But honestly, it looks like it might just fly. And honestly, it very well can, given what GU's taken and also what EU swept there. So yeah, we're in a bit of an awkward spot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Buys, my next spot for buys, if we do have a bit of a sell-off, is to take it this low. That's going to be a wicked medium inducement. We've got all that liquidity sitting here. We've got liquidity sitting across the top up there. We're going to be taking heaps of liquidity down here. The only issue we're buying at the take of this low is it's, again, another inducement high break low. We are going against the momentum of the market. However, given how condensed this is, I'm very, very open to it. So, I don't mind that if we do come down here, as long as we just don't just do that, because then I won't be touching it. But if we can, start to work our way down a little bit, something like that, get that sweep, get an entry down here, or get an entry out of a smart money point like that, cool, good to go. Are we targeting that, potentially even that, or the mitigation of that area? So we'll see what it wants to do. See what it wants to do. Hopefully it chills out a little bit. But yeah, we're in a bit of a weird spot. This divergence right now is fuck not helping us. But yeah, honestly, I would rather sell it. Would rather sell it. So bearish, and this I just don't like this demand. It's just shit. The demand itself is alright. The range is shit. So, we'll see. We'll see. But we'll have a look at news. What you got? So Forex Factory is doing as well. Monday will load. Cool. So we obviously just had our CPI, the pound. Yeah, we got nothing really for London, so we're sweet. So we got red folder. Switch there. What is it? Again, yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. So look, I'll be happy to trade up until, I don't know, crossover as usual. Um, maybe about 9:45. 15 minutes before crossover, just because FX Street does have it listed as red folder, and I trust FX Street over Forex Factory. So see what she wants to do. See what she wants to do. It may be, we've got bits and pieces nearby, so it shouldn't be too late of a setup if something does come through today. But we'll just play it by ear, see what she wants to give. It may just drive through, like I said. Do we mitigate that area yet? Yeah, we just tapped it, so I'll monitor what this is going to do out of it now, to be honest. And we'll go from there. I'd like it to come down into my range at least. So, we'll see. We'll see. We're in a bit of a tricky spot. Like I said, divergence kind of fucks us a little bit, but I will keep an eye on this and we'll go from there.